What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and today is the 16th day of the Minnesota Whiskey Elite / ADHD Whiskey blind whiskey tasting advent calendar of love making, and whiskey making, and loving whiskey. I am so excited to have you here tonight. I am what some people would call remote. I'm in a remote area, a remote studio. And I am hopefully not muted. I might be muted. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead, first of all, and get into this 16th day of Advent tasting. And then after that, I'll get into chat and we'll have a normal live stream. But I figured it'd be a lot easier to do it this way and then be able to cut an actual part of the video for the 16th day of the Advent calendar. I don't know. Seems to be working for me. All right. So today is day 16. I have day 16 sample here. It's in a miniature tiny sample glass. America. Pours ever so nicely. The pour is so good. The pour is so great. The color on it seems to be my favorite color, which is what everybody knows already, whiskey. Just a beautiful whiskey tone, you could say. It's hard to dictate color in a brand new area, in a brand new room. It's like, is it actually that dark? Is it actually that color? I don't know. I am not sure. Wow, is that music loud or is it just my brain? I can't tell. You shut up, music. You shut up when I'm talking. Christmas music. All right. Did I warm up this pocket? Did I warm up this whiskey? Yeah, for a few minutes in my pocket. And then I couldn't find the bottle. That's why I was a few minutes late. I was like, where did I put the sample bottle? So I was up looking around trying to find it. And then I remembered it was in my pocket. So got it. Freaking got it. All right. Let's go in for a nose on day 16, shall we? This is a Kentucky bourbon. This is a Kentucky bourbon of just glorious smell. It's a glorious smell. I would say that this definitely has some age on it. Man, oh man, I would probably put this son of a bitch maybe up around 14 years or more, just based off of the nose alone. And that's just me. This is just my thought process. Is this my guess? No, it's my thought process. Deal with my thought process, would you? Super sweet, super oaky, very familiar, very familiar. Is there a bit of nut on the nose? Maybe a bit of nut, but a lot of cherry and just sweet vanilla, little bit of breakfast. Definite some waffle pancake breakfast maybe. Man, oh man. This reminds me of when I shot the Sam Houston 15 thing for World's Top Whiskey Taster. This reminds me of what I would consider to be the maple bourbon sweat pouring out of an aged oak tree that was burnt down in a forest fire. Then they had to put out that fire with big bourbon fire hoses. That's what it smells like, the runoff. Man, oh man, smells so good. All right, day 16. Down the hizzy, which is my chimney. That is my first sip of alcohol for today. My first sip of alcohol for the day. And it's lighter on the palate than I expected. I expected this to... The hell was that? I expected this to be a much more intense palate, but it's actually a little bit tamed down, a little bit timid. It's sweet. It is oaky. a little bit of a oaky linger on the back of the palate. Man, oh man. It's very good. This is very good. I'm putting this baby right at 100 proof. It is right at 100 proof. It is so familiar. It's like I've had it before, but maybe not in a while. Flavor profile, I'm kind of leaning maybe towards a Barton, because the cherry and the oak is very familiar. It definitely reminds me of a Calumet or a Sam Houston, that area, but I don't think that it's as complex as the Calumet 15 was the other day. It's very good. It is very good. It's not finished. I'm gonna go Kentucky bourbon. Well, let's actually think through here. Let's think through it a bit more. It's not Buffalo Trace. It's not MGP. It's not Heaven Hill. It's not Jim Beam. It is, could it be a Four Roses? I don't think so. But we'll leave that up in the air for a moment. Could it be an Old Forester or some sort of I don't think I'm getting any of like the quintessential, stole that word from Jason, notes on the palate that I normally get from a Brown-Forman product. No banana-like state, no whiny tannins from the barrel. So I'm going to go ahead and say no Old Forester, no Jack Daniels. Man, that Barton is really... There's so much Barton sourced stuff out there that I would say that the possibilities of it being a Four Roses over a Barton in a very, very blind game would be very low. In the grand scheme of things, it probably would more have a better chance of it's. Yeah, there's too much oak on it to be a Four Roses. Let's put it that way. There's too much oak on it to be any sort of Four Roses, unless it's a crazy Four Roses. All right, I don't know. I'm going to take one more sip. We give it a score, and then we're going to find out what we are drinking on day 16. Down the hatch. It is pretty creamy. It is pretty dreamy. The more I taste it, the more I'm thinking maybe my initial proof guess was a little bit low. This could be up to 110 proof possibly, but unless my proofometer is off tonight, I think, yeah, it's very good. I'm going to say that on day 16, this blind pour receives a score of 7.9. It's a 7.9. It is very, very good. It is very, very good. And if I had to just chuck out a guess, my guess would be a 100 proof, 14-year Barton product. I will say Lucky 7, 14-year the hold up. That's a guess. All right. On day 16, we were drinking this is Calumet Farm 16 year. So what they did yesterday was Calumet 15. What they did this On the 16th day was Calumet 16. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. That's what she said. So this is, I guessed 14-year-old sourced Barton and 100, 210 proof. That was kind of what I was saying. And it is 16-year-old sourced Barton, 106 proof. Very good. I think I preferred the friggin' 15-year better. I scored it higher. I scored it way higher. That's incredible. So 16-year Calumet today receives a score of 7.9. I think that the 15-year received like an 8 point something. Jeez Louise. But yeah. Tonight, 16-year Calumet. What a great calendar this has been. What a great calendar this has been. Thank you, Damon and Daniel, Minnesota Whiskey Elite. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Alrighty. Sorry, I wanted to get through the Advent before I busted into chat. Here. Travis, I don't go to Jack Daniels till next month. Next month is a Jack Daniels trip. What's up, Get Strunk? What's going on? Michael S. is in the house. Tom W. Nimrax, Jeffrey Whack, the Whack Attack, Independent Joe. DC is here. Daily, Annual, Weekly. How's it going? Friggin' Bruzel's in the house. Gosh dang Bruzel. I love me some Bruzel. Lucas is here. Dara, Average Drinker. How are you? Glenn Evans. Must be related to Glenn Kerr, but maybe not. Who knows? Probably not. I'm super happy that you're all here tonight. If the stream is laggy or this doesn't work as well, that's because we are working with what some people would consider to be not the greatest internet. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere inside of a log cabin. And I'm very happy to be here on this Friday night. 2 weeks before Christmas? Just about, a little over 2 weeks until friggin' Christmas. I love Christmas. If I had my Santa hat on, I would have guessed that for sure. I don't know why I didn't think of Calumet 16. I should have. I really should have. Let's see here. What do we got here? We're just going to chat here. Linda Porter's here. Hello. How are you? Ted Adams. Dramhound's in the chat. Dramhound. Bob Balkovec for again, Bob. AC's on? AC, where the heck are you with the AC on? Richard Bushy, what's happening? Jeff Goosen. I'm 0-16. That's all right, Jeff. You know, maybe someone just needs to come up behind Jeff and Goosen. Goosen. I don't know. Possibly. That's all right. 0-16 is fine. That's, you know, I do this for a living. It's basically, it is my job. So I've only got a couple like dead on, but Nimrax is here. Sam Brown, Mike, Matt Stradamus nailed it again. Well, I didn't exactly nail it, but I did. I came close. 365 people in chat. We're getting closer to my BMI every time. How's it going, everybody? I'm a little self-conscious with myself. I've never done a full. I feel like, but I get skinnier, so I feel like I'm bulgy at the bottom. It's all right. It's okay, Matt. You are bulgy. 362. That's all right. 3 people. Fuck them, right? Just kidding. Sorry for swearing, Mom, if you're here. AB Alec is in the house. What's up, Alec? Friggin' Alec. Chad Kaczynski. Kaczynski-ing it up. 1 week. Oh, yeah. That makes way more sense. It's 1 week. Rodney Landers, friggin', thank you for landing here in the chat this evening. That's right, Mom, 1 week. 25 minus 16 equals 2 weeks. Eric Sawyer, suck at it. I don't know. Carissa got called into work right before I started the stream. She had to leave. Friggin' work. Surgeries, am I wrong? Am I right? Arthur Hughes is here. Bob Belkvec, Matt going full frontal tonight. That's right. You know, sometimes you just got to do it. I have a few things we can do tonight. And I thought about doing them all. Then I realized that if I did them all, I might not be able to walk. So let's do it. Why does it keep dinging with a money thing? That's ridiculous. Ching. I must have exported that sound in that song, which is pretty dumb. Mark Wood been using the porter order into my Advent. It works. Got to do the porter order. If you have a porter order, use it. If you don't have a porter order, then maybe you should order the porter order. Only $699 sent directly to my overseas account, and I will email you eventually with a porter order. And that order will be to send another $699. So you'll be out roughly $1,400, and you'll be awaiting your second porter order. So do I recommend it? Absolutely. Sounds like a great program to me. Email me if you're interested. Derek Free says, cha-ching. That's, yeah. See, I know what I did. I exported this music, and then I accidentally left for my videos where like the price pops up. I left that in the musical timeline and exported that sound. Whoops. Oh well. Going to JD as a squire. Happy you're giving some love to Lynchburg's finest. Nah, they're giving me some love. They're giving me some love for sure. Jim, what's going on, Mr. Jim? What am I expecting from Santa Claus? Trackhawk, Jeep Trackhawk. Probably about 1,000 horsepower. It's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting world peace and love. World peace and world love. So much love. That's what I'm expecting. All right. I have, I want to get into these Pursuit Uniteds. I'm thinking I might actually just do a video while I'm here and just post up the Pursuit United video while I'm here. I think that's what I'm going to do with these because I have a flight tonight. So yeah, Kenny and Ryan sent me these from the Bourbon Pursuit podcast, the Pursuit United, their toasted series. And I was going to taste them tonight on the live, but I think they deserve their own video. They definitely do. They were nice enough to send me these. They deserve their own video. Will I like them? That's the question. I don't know because they're toasted, and you know how I am with toasted stuff. I'm just not sure about it. Just not sure. So what I want to open up, the first little pour of the night is the Tin Cup 14er. And then I want to do this Doc Swinson's that they sent me, and then I've got a whole flight from friggin' AT40, which is a flight of some of his favorite whiskeys. And I've got a brand new way of doing. I'm going to try a different approach at a flight to see if it works better or worse than the traditional approach. America. Friggin' Tin Cup 14er. America. 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 All right, Tin Cup 14er. Oh, it's like getting dressed after doing the deed. Oh, put it back on there. Put that back on. I was loud. Put that back on. Put the lid back on. All right. Tin Cup 14er is release number 1, front range, highest elevation, 14,278 feet. So this is from Tin Cup, Colorado company. But this whiskey was sourced from Indiana. It's an MGP bourbon. It is watered. It is cut with Rocky Mountain water down to 84 proof. And if you don't remember, I'm a big fan of Tin Cup 10-year. The 10-year version of this. Well, the 14-year, rock my socks. I don't know. I've tasted it already, but I haven't really thought about how much my socks have been rocked. So I'm going to give this little baby a spin job, a little bit of a friggin' 14,000 foot SJ, the highest SJ ever given, if you know what I mean. Are we at 14,000 feet right now? No. We're at about 8. I think we're at 8,000, somewhere around there. I don't know. My lungs seem to work all right, so we're not any higher than 9. That's for sure. All right. If I spin this thing any longer, it's going to be exhausted though. So let's give it a break. Give it a smell. That is sweet, oaky, and appley. Ooh. Wow, there's actually a note in there that I don't know what it is, but it's very familiar, sort of. That smells like is that Love Spell? It kind of smells like Victoria's Secret. Love Spell. How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? It's a seductress. It's a 14,000 foot seductress. It is pretty light on the nose, but like the aroma that's being presented to me is very nice. It's pleasurable, you could call it. Bottle, I believe, goes for about $70 plus tax. I paid $86 because I went to the store down the street where they price everything up about that much. But they're a fun little store. All right. 14er into this in-betweener. And I don't even know what that means, but let's find out. Whatever. Ooh. That is good. Wow. Matter of fact, after coming off of that Calumet 16, this tastes really good. Of course, it's a lot lighter. It's fluffy. It's light and fluffy. But the very low proof isn't bothering me a lot. There's like there's an oakiness to it that is obviously going to be there for the 14-year-old product, but it's got a twist on it. It's got kind of like a fruity, almost a fruity tropical twist towards the back of the palate. And I can't quite put my tiny little fingers on what exactly that twist is, but I do like it. Heck yeah. If you like the Tin Cup 10-year, if you're not appalled by the 84 proof, if that doesn't make you want to throw fits, because some people get really upset about it. They're like, God, what do you mean it's 84 proof? If that doesn't bother you, if you like the Tin Cup 10, this is very, very good as well. I would recommend it. It's not like a crazy expensive bottle, so I would say that if you find one, give it a shot. I'm going to compare it to the Tin Cup 10 in a review video, but initial thoughts are very enjoyable, very good. I really, really like it. It is pretty light, though. It is pretty much like, it's like oak water with a tinge of alcohol. And I like it. I kind of like it. All right. Call that bottle Gabriel Iglesias. Gabriel Iglesias. What song did he sing? Someone give me a Gabriel Iglesias song. All right, let's compare it to water. All right. So, Tin Cup 14 versus water. This has a bit more hydrogen and oxygen, I would say. Very refreshing. That was a very refreshing pour. But the low proof of the water is not bothering me either. Fluffy. I'm fluffy. Oh, that guy. Who was I thinking of? I was thinking of Enrique Iglesias, wasn't I? Well, give me an Enrique song. Don't just... My bad. Too many Iglesiases. I get him confused. Okay. Oh, Julie Like is in the house. Julie. How's the oak on the nose? The oak on the nose is good. Scotty Mac, hells yeah. That fire's friggin' rocking, huh? It's rocking good. And it's pretty warm in here. It is pretty warm up in this bitch. Yeah, the 14er is good. Average drinker loves hiking 14ers. My idea of a 14er would be a 14,000 calorie challenge. That'd be my idea. I see the prisoner share. I've seen that. I've not seen a bottle of it, but that baby's expensive, huh? Yeah, Bert. Let me know what you think of the Tin Cup 14. I really enjoy it. Oh, we got a $3 super chat from Savannah, Frisky Kitten, and Whiskey Written. Whiskey Written on Instagram. I'm telling you right now, gotta watch them. Love the backdrop tonight, Matt. Happy holidays. Thank you, Savannah. Tell Jake I say hi. I love those two. They're just great. Yeah, this is of course not my typical area, but you know what they say. Just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And by chicken shit, I mean a big ass log cabin in the middle of the woods, which is very beautiful. So I made it. To all the girls I've loved before, yeah, that one doesn't ring a bell. Damon, glad you enjoyed day 16. Surprised you scored 15 higher. Sorry, but tomorrow we start over at 2 years old. Damon, I know what tomorrow's is because that video is ready to go. And spoiler alert, you might not want to miss tomorrow's video. Yeah. You might not want to miss tomorrow's video. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Interesting. All right. I have... Stay. You stay. You sit. You sit. I have a Doc Swinson here. It is called the Forgotten One. And they sent me a paper that showed me what was in this. But how my brain works is like this. I don't need no paper, all right? I've got the memory of not much, but I did remember what this is. So I guess during the pandemic, this is their story anyway. They had some bourbons being finished in a couple casks, and they sort of got forgot about. Or maybe it wasn't during the pandemic. The pandemic squeezes in there somewhere. It fits in there somewhere. But anyway, this is Doc Swinson's The Forgotten One. Now, I don't know where this is going to be available or when, or why they want me to taste it, because it's extremely limited. I think there are under 300 bottles of it available total. So chances of anyone seeing one are very slim, but it is their exploratory cask. It's a 16-year, which kind of is a 16-year and kind of isn't. Now, Doc Swinson, me and Doc Swinson, we go way back. They're the master of the buzzword, and I like to read their buzzwords, and then they like to tell me that they love hearing me read their buzzwords. In this situation, 16-year is almost a buzzword, but not quite, because it is 12-year-old bourbon that was finished for 4 years, and it was finished for 4 years in 2 different Madeira casks. Hallelujah. So they had 12-year-old Tennessee whiskey that they took out of the original cask, and then they finished like half of it in one Madeira cask and half of it in a different Madeira cask for 4 years. And then after 4 years, they bottled it at barrel proof, which is 98.7. And this is it. This is the blend of those two Madeira barrels. This reminded me, actually, I should have probably done this after the flight, now that I recall, because this one is a bit of, oh, Madeira. It's Madeira. Yeah. It's, oh, baby, baby, it's a wild one, or something. You're getting a ton of molasses right off the bat. The Tennessee whiskey shines through quite a bit, but not necessarily a bad thing. It really reminds me a lot on the nose of that Playboy Rare Hair that was finished in the like quadruple XO, double X adult cognac cask. But this is Madeira, so it's not cognac. But at the same time, it kind of reminds me of that. So on the nose, it's very like raisin-like. It's also very molassesy, and then has that little bit of orange, so like a citrus orange. But the nose is very like, it's very pronounced. It's very like, rah. That's right, Bruce. I'll finish in the triple X casks. Bye, Savannah. Bye, Jake. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm serious. If you don't watch Whiskey Written, after I'm done here, go to Whiskey Written on Instagram, and they're the best. It's like a party. It's just like a husband and wife, just friggin' partying. It's great, but not really like a party, but more like I don't know. You just have to see it, and it's great. 377 people in here. Thank you all so much for being here. This is the Doc Swinson Exploratory Cask, the Forgotten one. All right, down the hatch with this forgotten son of a batch. So something like this is the way I look at this. This is extremely rich. It's very rich. It's very chocolatey. It's super rich and super chocolatey. And then the finish of it gets a tad bit bitter, but like the overall experience is very, very, very rich. These Tennessee whiskeys that are finished well, or finished for an extended period of time, of course, you're still going to get the Tennessee whiskey vibe from it. And then this one is pretty heavy with it, but it's not off-putting. It's actually like somewhat on-putting, because that flavor profile with a Madeira cask for 4 years, they intertwine really well, and it's a good combination. If you absolutely despise Tennessee whiskey and you can't stand it and you don't want anything to do with it, then this is not for you. But if you are someone who can appreciate it or loves it, or just like likes the way that it's mingled or like finished in different barrels, this is a great example of something that's barrel strength at under 100 proof. So it's really oily. It's very oily and very viscous and coats the mouth really well. It's thick with a few C's. It's viscous. And as David Carroll would say, it's like biscuits on Christmas. It is so good, but also like strange and very rich. And by strange, I mean it's just not something you taste every day. If I poured myself some of this the other night and I was like, ooh, yum, ooh, yum, ooh, yum. And then by my fourth sip, I was like, okay, that's enough. Small amounts of this is what I would suggest. You don't want to go too overboard with the 4-year Madeira finished Dickel, but it is very good. I don't know how much these bottles are going to be. I would imagine there must. It's called the Forgotten One, which is a buzzword in itself. And then it's 16 years old, 12 years plus a 4-year finish. If there's less than 300 bottles, I'm sure that they're going to put a hefty price tag on it, I would imagine. Unless, of course, they don't, in which case I think the rest of their exploratory cask stuff is under $100. Yeah. It's weird. It's almost like it's so like concentrated. Like this is a 98 proof, 98.7 proof that I think you could actually add water to. It's so concentrated. It's like having it's like dry scooping a pre-workout. That's how hard it hits the palate. It's just like 400 milligrams of caffeine. Except for I don't think there's any caffeine in this. But that wouldn't be a bad idea. What if I did that? Matt's caffeine bourbon? Oh my God. What's buzzing? Julie texted me in the middle of. I only changed my camera view because I just had to for the. I still no. I'm very insecure. I feel extremely ginormic. But I felt like the room deserved it. The fireplace deserved it. See the Elfie's back there. Alpha's back there. Jeez. I'm missing everything here. Drums and Drams, Cameron. Matty P sipping on some extra samples. Toshi threw in with the very Matt Madness samples. Elijah Craig 23 and a Dusty Turkey donut. Cheers, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, so on the 30th, we are going, me and Cameron going head to head. We're going to try to do it before Christmas, but it's still going to be December. It's going to be December 30th. It's going to be a very merry Matt Madness. Me versus Cameron. It's head to head, 1-on-1. Toshi Bake sent samples. David and Kira are going to be hosting it, and I'm going to send everyone to David and Kira's channel as a thank you for everything that they've done last year. We're going to super chat the crap out of David and Kira on the 30th of December while me and Cameron battle it out Matt Madness style. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. That's in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, me versus Cameron. Great use of a fireplace. Yeah, it looks good, huh? It looks good back there. Finally got it working. Oh, Bob, no thanks. I'm proud of my hard work. Trust me, but I still, Matt's cracked out bourbon. That'd be a good name for it. Espresso shot. Hells yeah. That would be a bad idea. It probably couldn't. It'd probably be like 4 Loco, but like more Loco than that. All right. The next thing I already did the tin cup. Chopped wood all day to get the fire going, I bet. You know damn well I chopped wood all day. You know damn well I did. And I am so thrilled that it is just warming this entire house. Hi, Kathy. So I have the Doc Swinson's done. So I have this flight from AT40. I did a tasting for some people in Colorado that they won on the Andera's fire relief fundraiser, and then they sent me some samples in return. So I have this flight here from AT40, and I have a key, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 samples. And I thought I wanted to do a flight But typically how I do a flight is not how I want to do it tonight. I want to do it. Oh, fuck with that. Did you guys hear that? My children are upstairs. My wife's at work. I swear. I'm about to get friggin'. They're ringed. My my cards are beaten. It's dark over there. I can't see nothing. But I'm sure that there's some sort of ghostly figure staring at me from somewhere. Where was I? Tobias heard it. What was that? Mom, it wasn't Santa. Santa's not that early. Wow. I don't know. I'm going to have to rewind that to see if I can hear it, because that was the weirdest thing I've ever... That was so weird. All right. Forget what I was saying. Oh, yeah, flight. I want to do this flight a little bit differently. Drums and Rams. I wish it was you too. Let's see here. I have... It says order. It says order. And then the funny thing is... Here's the funny thing. B1, B2... B6/A6. What does that even mean? Then B3, B4, B5. So I'm going to go in the order in which it's prescribed. I'm going to go B1, B2, and then B6/A6. Again, don't know. But then B3, B4, B5. But this is the way I'm going to do it. Typically, I pour out all the samples, and then I taste them, boom, down the line, and then taste them back. That's not the way I want to do this. I want to do it this way. I'm going to pour B1 first. I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to analyze it like I do an advent calendar sample. I'm going to score it, give notes, kind of guess what it is, and then be done with it. Then I'm going to take a minute, then go to the next one. Do the same thing, go to the next one. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to taste back and forth, back and forth to try to get the correct order that Porter would think the correct Porter order is. Porter's going to label or assign scores to glasses one by one by one and not compare them. So then I will have a ranking based off of score. Then we'll do the reveal and see if I'm any better at it this way than the other way. I don't know. I think that's going to be the way to do it. So that's what we got here. I have a notebook. I have a pen. I have a ghost somewhere in this house. Just fine. It's just totally fine. It's a Knob Creek book about sample notes. All right. So I've got B1 coming up. B1. Which one is B1? B1. Oh, there it is. Found it. America. Clean glass. Clean enough. Oh. All right. I need more hands than this. I can't really do much with two hands. We need way more hands. Way more hands. Okie dokie. Do you have an old elk on the shelf? I have an elf on the shelf, and I have an old elk at home, yeah. A couple, I believe. AT40, I don't remember either. About the B6A6? No clue. But we will find out at the end. If Grease is here, then I didn't let him in. I did not let him in. 350 people here still. Thank you so much. All right, let's give B1 a little bit of an SJ. It's like if you're in a cabin in the woods, then the last thing you want to do is hear noises from some sort of spirit animal, because I've seen that movie before. It doesn't end well, especially if you're the only one, downstairs with the thing. All right, let's go for color. Is pretty. It's pretty bright. It's pretty shiny. Let's go for a nose. B1. Wow, that's very grapey. Man, oh boy. And I don't know. I have no idea what type of whiskeys these are. They could be any kind of whiskey. That smells. Wow. My first thought was rye. Maybe a finished rye of some kind. It's very fruit forward. It's very grapey. It's very Laffy Taffy. Man, I feel like I've smelled this a million times, but I can't quite figure out what it is based off of the first nosing. But it is, or is that just oak? Is that just grapey oak? Huh. Very potent nose on this as well. It's a really concentrated, sharp, fruity, pointy nose. I can't quite put my finger on what I'm familiar with it, but I'm not sure why. Let's taste it and then go from there. What on earth? What is that? That tasted nothing like it smelled. That is delicious. This is a bourbon. Like the nose is so like in your face and sharp. The palate is so soft and creamy and delicate and delicious and oaky. This is so weird. This is actually throwing me for maybe a little bit of a knuckleball. Oh, because it's like the color on it's not very dark. The nose is a bit astringent almost, but very fruity. The palate is softer, gentler, and more oaky. So let's think about it. Let me think about it. What can lead to a sharp nose? Sometimes when you add water to something, the nose can get sharper, and then the color would then get lighter. So maybe this is an aged bourbon at a lower proof. Man. Dang it, that's low proof and good. Crap. Part of me wants to like go into a direction of maybe an Elijah Craig 18, but I'm not getting any nuttiness off of it. That's very good though. I like it a lot. B1. I'm gonna say. What did I just drink before that? What did I just have? Oh, I had the Doc Swinson. I'm going to say B1 is 90 proof. And an unfinished bourbon. It is just a random guess is Elijah Craig 18. And is it that old though? I don't know. That's what I'm going with. And it's great. It's an 8.1. An 8.1. That is so good for being low proof. Interesting. So now, well, I might as well take the last sip. So now I'm done with B1. Wait a minute. Damn it, I shouldn't have done that. However, I just tasted that, completely changed how that tasted. That's funny. This might not work at all. Scratch Elijah Craig 18. That is my initial thought of a rye whiskey might even be right. See, this is where it gets interesting. This is where shit gets weird. That last sip presented a rye spice that I didn't taste on the palate before. What the hell is an old rye? An old low proof rye? I don't know. It is good though. It is good. I like it a lot. The score stands. All right. A little water. Scroll back and chat. Oh shit, I missed 2 or 3 super chats. Holy crap. What the heck? Ah, dang it. I was in the middle of a tasting, dang it. And then I look up and there's freaking 2 huge super chats. Toshi, I need to get back home to check on to see if I get those samples. Oh geez, I'm way behind. Come on, Matt, keep up. Keep up with the good people. Julie likes, geez Louise. For 2023, which like knows what Matt likes, episode production costs coming up. Also, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Julie. That's incredible. That's unbelievable, unreal. Thank you so much for that. That's the nicest ever. And I can't wait to do another series of which like knows what Matt likes. I wonder if Julie can beat Dan this time. I bet you she can, for sure. Thank you, Julie, for that. That's incredible. Saucy Shane, I just poured your winning whiskey weekend blend from 3 Chord. I must say this, Saucy Shane. Was I the team captain? Yes. Was I really the team captain? No, I can't take any credit for that bottle at all. That was if I had to give the credit to anyone for that bottle, Sarah from It's Bourbon Night really took the lead. Sean Paisley, Bourbon Junkies, was also in there and talking. I literally sat there and I couldn't really get a word in, and I didn't know what words to say. Very bad team captain in that situation. So if you enjoy it, then I can't take credit for it. But Sarah from It's Bourbon Night really, really took lead on that for sure. Keith, Casey, well, happy holidays and thank you for hours of fun. Keith, thank you for that crazy super chat. That's super nice. And you're welcome. You are friggin' welcome. So B2 is next. I'm gonna pour B2 and then catch up on chat here. Friggin' love you guys. This is so much fun for me. Thank you for like. I know I say it I say it a lot, but I mean it. Like this is what I get to do, and I get to stay home with the kids, get to bring them to school every day, pick them up from school every day, and edit whiskey videos and make whiskey content, and it's just a dream come true. So thank you all for watching this crap. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. And you know what I've realized? When I've got to shoot video after video after video, day after day after day, things get very sexual pretty quick. And sorry about that. But at the same time, super not sorry, because it's December and lovemaking's in the air. Am I wrong? All right? AT40, which I remember what I gave you. Hey, you'll remember. You'll remember soon because we're doing it tonight. Oh, 69 megas here. That's pretty cool. Tony Bag of Donuts. Hello, Matt, you beautiful toasty Santa Claus. This Evan calendar and channel are right up my alley and directly up my ass. That's great to hear. Merry friggin' Christmas and Happy New Year to all, and all a good flight. Tony Bag of Donuts, thank you so much. You're right up my alley, Tony. I'm so far behind. Shayla's in the house. Shayla. Friggin' Shayla bot. How are you? Shayla, everybody. Dan L's here. I love you, Dan. Friggin' Dan man. Dan, I don't know. Sorry. Crap. So I'm on B2 now. B2. B2 smells a little bit nutty. A little bit nutty. Has a bit of a funk to it. Maybe a turkey. Maybe a little bit of a turkey funk. My presentation, that's not bad. That's a great score. Yes, this is a bit of a funky nut. A little bit of a funky nut on B2. A bit sour, a tiny bit sour with, it's like a soured boiled peanut. A sour boiled peanut. I don't know. The nose on it is not exactly making me happy for whatever reason, but let's go for a taste. B2. This also tastes low proof, but what in the world? This is not good. That tastes totally unfamiliar to me. It did. I don't even know if this exists, but what came into my mind, the finish of it was white grape juice. Do you know how like grape juice, like if you drink grape juice, it puckers you up on the back end? There's that same essence of grape juice on the finish of it, which I really enjoyed, but it was like softer, and for some reason my brain said white grape juice, which I don't even think is a real thing. Huh. I have no friggin' clue what that is. My initial thought on the nose was turkey. On the palate, I do not know. White grape juice is totally a thing you can get. I didn't know that. Menage a trois yesterday? All right. This one is weird. I feel okay. Was this a clean glass? I think so. I'm pretty sure that the Doc Swinson, that the Dickel Madeira cask finished, sometimes that gets like something like that gets kind of stuck in your nose. So then everything you smell after that has a bit of remnants of it. I hate when that happens. Okay, this is nutty. It's not old. Is it super young? I don't know. If I had to guess a proof, I'm going to say a little over 100 proof. Weird. What's really throwing me off is the finish on that turns into this white grape juice thing. I don't know why I keep saying white grape juice when I've never had it. It's just grape juice, but it's like a, I can't ignore the nose. I can't ignore the nose. The second sip tasted higher proof than the first sip. I'm going to put this at, well, I'm not going to hedge my bet. I will say 101 proof. I will say it is bourbon. And it's a 7.3. I'm going to, a wild guess is Wild Turkey 101. I already don't like this process of tasting. It's weird. Okay, like if I had to do multiple days of an advent calendar, shooting them back to back to back, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But for some reason, if it's in a flight, I feel like I have to compare them to one another. But we're doing it a different way today. All right, next class is B6A6, which makes, I don't know why that doesn't make sense, but at the same time I know exactly why it doesn't make sense. Because maybe it'll make sense when we complete this, when we finish it up. So I did like the first glass, or B1, more than B2. If I compare the two, I don't know if B2 is darker or not. Who knows? Who's to say? This is interesting. This is an interesting way to do things here. So we're on the third sample glass here. Wow, 69 Meg is back. Just making their presence known. Okay. A6 B6 smells delicious. This smells, the fuck was that? I'm not crazy, am I? Did anybody else hear that? This smells very sweet and oaky. Very cherry, very sweet, very oaky. A little too oaky, which is a good thing. If that's a cricket, Julie, like that cricket can laugh very, very loud. It's not the hot water heat, because it sounded like a laugh to me. And the hot water heat is no joke. Okay, this doesn't smell like it did a second ago. Oh, it smells like a dusty. That's the note I'm getting off here. It's a dusty note. That's what it is. I knew it was familiar for some reason, but I couldn't quite put my tiny little finger on it. That's a dusty note. Yeah, I was like, what is that? It was like, it's super sweet. It's almost oaky sweet, but it's not. This is dusty sweet. Well, it's gentle. That's a gentle lover. Wow. Um, what could that possibly be? I'm not getting a ton of like a dusty palate. It's just a sweet, creamy, delicious palate. Let's have a little water and go back to it. Huh, I don't know. I'll go back to it in a second, but part of me feels like the nose feels like it's a dusty, the palate feels like it's not. Nimrax, I'm not checking nothing. Unless it comes from up there where the children are at, no way. Not checking at all. Teddy, what kind of love do you find on this 69 site? Let's say that this is love, okay? Let's say that like a man meets a woman, or a man meets a man, or a woman meets a woman. If they were to meet on that site, that's the kind of love you would find. It's just kind of like, you know. Thrasher, probably Thrasher. Peter, I did have that thought. I did think possibly an old Fitz, like a dusty old Fitz, maybe, but I didn't pick up enough on the palate, like enough of the flavors on the palate to really suggest if it would be like where it came from. It didn't taste like anything specific. Nothing that was like that stood out as like a Stitzel or stood out as like Beam or anything like that. It just was delicious, just really, really good. So this is my deal. In, in scary movies, when they go check on stuff, they never, ever, ever turn on the light. It's like they're going to go in the basement to find out what's happening, but they go down there in the dark. It's like there's a light switch at the top of the stairs. Immediately, you know what Porter would do? Light on so I can see what's going on. You know what I mean? I can't do it here in this setting because I'm being lit, you know, oh boy. Cinematically, there I said it. Even though it's not really cinematic, but it's like if I turn on lights, then it would probably make me look better. But at the same time, I worked hard for this lighting, you know. Eliza Dushku, who's going down the basement to get murdered by whatever's down there, turn on a light. You'll be able to see what's happening. You know what I mean? Jeez. Wow. The nose on this is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Maybe my proof meter's way off. Well, the Calumet, or the Calumet 16, I guess, was 100. Man, where? Like, what is that? That tastes. It is so oaky and so. This is delicious. Like, this is. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I'm gonna guess. Like, that's it's phenomenal pour. A phenomenal pour. B6A6, whatever that means. Well, maybe we'll find out. I know. Okay, that was a laugh. I know what's happening here. I know what's happening. I'll tell you in a second. I'm relieved. Now I'm relieved. B6A6, I'm going to say is either a dusty or something with like a lot of age on it, old enough to like get a dusty note from it. Could it be a Stitz, an old Stitzel Weller or something? Maybe. Or maybe even like a pre-fire Heaven Hill. The proof on it is what's throwing me because these all taste lower proof for some reason, and I can't quite figure out why. It's like the score on it is getting an 8.8. It is almost it's bordering on some of the best stuff I've ever had. That is, what I'm going to guess is a wheated bourbon. Wheated bourbon. And I'll say it is oh man. It's weird because when you get the dusty stuff, it's like, what ages are those? Like, what? It tastes new, old. How do I put it? Current extra aged bourbon tastes different than vintage extra aged bourbon. The oak is different. It's like they just taste different. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm going to say dusty wheated bourbon. 15 plus years. But that could be way off. It's just a matter of what type of whiskey it is, or what type of, like, where this came from, when it came from. Doc Brown, let me know. Come on. Dusty wheated bourbon. The proof point on it. I'm going to go 107. 107 proof. But I don't know. B6A6. Okay, so the next one is B3. Then B4, then B5. Okay, B3 is next. This is hard. It's hard because I'm being so, what's the word? Final. I'm finalizing these as I'm tasting them. So I'm not going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if I'm going to like this way more or less. So far, it seems to be pretty difficult. Because I don't know what the heck. It's kind of like a snapshot. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, instead of making it like a motion picture, like a video, or like something you can jump back and forth between, the way I'm doing this is like each glass is like a snapshot in time. So it's like, how much did I enjoy it as I drank it, and then be sure about it. Would I benefit from taking a sip of it and then moving on and then going back to it? Maybe. But that's why I'm doing this, because I want to see how this works. What's the Napoleon Dynamite? Gosh. Eat the food, Tina. So he comes back next week? What do you mean, so I come back next week? I'm back, Brittany. I'll always be back. It's that one was so good. It's so good. I don't know. Damon's super smart. Damon, like a friggin' super smart guy. Altitude will change proof. Fact. You are higher in the mountains. Okay, that's not true. Well, where I'm at normally is a little over a mile high. It's like 5,300 feet. We're higher here. We are definitely higher here. But since that's not correct, then I won't worry about it. But Damon, I like the way you think. See, if I would have said that in a video and I was extra confident about it, people would just assume that I'm stupid. But that's not hard. Oh, was I doing spirit fingers or something? Mark Boyer, do I have an absolute favorite bottle? I mean, yeah, but I don't have one. King of Kentucky, if I had a King of Kentucky, it'd be my favorite bottle. Do I have a favorite bottle that I own personally? I don't know. B3. Oh, is this Maker's Mark? Oh. Oh, so okay. So this cabin isn't, so my wife rents out like part of this cabin, but nobody else is ever here. But the homeowner's here this weekend, and that's what I'm here. I didn't remember that, and that he was going to be here, so he must have came back while we were shooting and like doing this, and then I'm hearing the homeowner or whoever's with him. That's what I heard. So that makes sense. B3, this one smells a little bit dairy and a little bit sour. A little dairy, a little sour. If this has got to be Maker's Mark. If this is Maker's Mark, that means my proof meter is off. Because, yeah. All right. I don't need to go any further with B3. B3, I'm going to say, is probably a Maker's Private Select. Around 113 proof, probably, give or take. It is however old they are, who knows? It's friggin' 9 months old, probably. Whatever Maker's Mark Private Selects are. Finished in friggin' chocolate, marmalade, Nutella, Sucella staves. And it gets a score of, gosh, I feel rude. It's not my jam. I'm comfortable saying it's not my jam. I'll say 5.9. It's just not my jam. That's not something I love. If it's not a Maker's Mark Private Select, if it's not a Maker's Mark, then I will be like, oh, what is it? But it does have the what do you call it? The dairy-like qualities, the kefir-like qualities, sour, grassy, young qualities that a Maker's Mark typically gives me. So B3 is not for me, but we still have 2 more, B4 and B5. And before I drink B4, I should drink a little bit of water to get that B3 out of my mouth. B4. JP passed on a Russell single Rick House for $250. Don't know if I made a bad choice. What do you guys think? Dude, $250 is a lot of money for a bottle of whiskey. Like a lot of money. So if the way I look at it is this. If I brought home a $250 bottle of whiskey and it wasn't amazing, would it depress me? Like, do I value $250 that much where it would be like, wow, that sucks? If the answer to that is yes, then you probably made the right choice, because you might not love it. You know what I mean? You might not love it. $250 is a lot of money. Like, I know that the prices keep going up and up and up. You could have got a Dickel 17-year-old limited edition for that, almost. You know, think about that. You could have walked home with the George Dickel 17-year limited edition for $250 if they gave you a good deal. So, I mean, geez, you could have had one of them. Think about that. Think about how lucky you would have been with that. All right, let's go to B4. All right. Top 3 SJ throat candies you're on now? What the hell does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Oh, this smells nice. This smells not like the last one. I had to pass on a 9-year, 127 proof purple top at Total Wine for $448 out the door today. I mean, I would imagine that most of us would have had to pass too. I don't think that there are many of us in chat that would have been able to pull the trigger on that, because $450 for a bottle of whiskey is nuts. Nuts job. I mean, I've never come close. The most I've ever spent on a bottle of whiskey is $300. Yeah, that's it. $300. Right? Or was it less than that? But I think it might be less than that. Probably less than that. I mean, it's because we're getting crazy. We're getting crazy. Because I'm going to drink it, you know? I'm going to drink it. And then it's gone. And then it's like, coin sense and nonsense. Just tuned in. Red glitter beard is gone. Yeah, there's like a little bit of stain on my cheeks, but still. Julie, I'm at the point I should start questioning my actions, and Dan L is probably questioning his life choices. So I'm going to bed. Love you all, but especially you. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Good night. And no, I mean, I don't know about why you're questioning your actions. But if we're talking about the dollar value of whiskey, it's all, is it relative? Is that what you say? I mean, it just depends on if you have the money to spend on it or not. That's all I'm saying. Like, if that's what you choose to spend your extra money on, if you have that extra money, then that's awesome. If you are going to spend $350 on a bottle of whiskey, or, well, let's put it this way. If your cell phone bill is late and you have the opportunity to buy a $350 bottle of whiskey, which, you know what I mean, like, been in that situation, guess what, like, would suck if you bought the whiskey and it turns out it wasn't as good as you hoped. And then you get a call from Verizon and they're all like, yo, when we need that money. Or you can call it quits with a different provider because you're canceled, bitch. Glass, this one, B, where are we now? B4? B4 is very cinnamony. Very cinnamony. For Kentucky Owl, yeah. That's what it was. It was a Kentucky Owl batch 10. JP, I mean, no, listen. People people are gonna spend money on it no matter what. If you can afford it, you can afford it. But like, I can't spend that much. I can't. Like, there's no way. The price. Have you been to the grocery store? I go to the grocery store and I buy like a basket of items, and then I check out and I'm like $118 for a bag of groceries. And then they're like, guess what? January 1st, that bag, you can't use the bag anymore. Otherwise, we're going to charge you for that shit. And I'm like, what are we doing? So, I mean, it's feeding the fam. You know what I mean? It's like my 5-year-old, she eats 4 dinners. And by that, I mean, she doesn't eat anything. So I make her 4 dinners that she refuses. But it's 4 dinners every night for her. And it gets expensive not feeding her. Cinnamon and grape and love. This one is Willet. Is this a Willet? This might be a Willet. I don't know. Let's put it down the hatch and find out. Oh, hells yeah, that's good. Oh. Wednesday Addams eye acting, that's good. I like that. That is like a cinnamon cherry. It's like a deluxe cinnamon cherry frittata. Or by frittata, I mean something good, because I don't know what a frittata is. But if I had to draw frittata, it would just be the letters GOOD, because good. It's good. It's super cinnamon, it's almost like an apple cinnamon cherry pie. It's just a spice. It's so good. That is good. It is familiar. The last time I got this much cinnamon on the nose and palate, I thought that it was a Willet product, and it turned out to be Old Grandad 114, which was a bit of an embarrassment, but I don't get any nut off of it. It's not nutting on me. It could. Okay, now I'm so. That could be a Four Roses also. Could be a Four Roses product. Man, that's good. After the whole incident with the Old Grandad 114, I'm a bit scared to even score that one. I think it's great, though. I do think it's great. I think it's that is an 8.4. It's great. I love it. It's super cinnamon. And every time I have something that cinnamon, then the 50 Cent song just rings through my head. And I know that you're probably sick of hearing it, but it's in my head, so now it's going to be in yours. Cinnamon, wish death upon me, blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, but they try to take my life away. Cinnamon, cinnamon, wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. I don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on cinnamon, cinnamon. Wish death upon me. That's just a good song. 50 Cent, everybody. Super cinnamon, 8.4. My guess is, will it? Question mark. OGD 114 question mark, because now I'm terrified that everything that cinnamon is going to be old granddad. But I love that. That one was very, very good. If that is old granddad 114, then guess what? Old granddad 114 is like the best friggin' budget bourbon on the planet, Janet. Let's go to B5, the fifth and final one. Then we will do some reveals. Mark Vasco. I always go back and forth on that. On one hand, there's always more whiskey and lots of good whiskey available. On the other hand, life is short, as Anthony Bourdain would say, eat the hot dog, ride the ride. That makes sense. So here is a confession of an addict. Thursdays and Fridays are delivery days for my local stores. And I did not go to the stores to look to see if they got anything good in. And it is allocation season. And do they typically get crazy good stuff in that I must have? No. But it was hard to not go. Okay? It was hard. It's hard to not go. They probably wondered where I was. They were probably wondering if I was there, like if I was okay. You know? The fat ginger-haired guy who comes in every Thursday and Friday. He didn't come in on Thursday, so that's weird. He didn't come in on Friday. He didn't show up on Friday. He probably had a heart attack because he's huge and he would be here. Questioning my alcohol consumption. Oh, I get it. I never question how much money I spent and shouldn't have left me alone with the checkbook. That's on him. Julie, I friggin' love you so much. Oh my God. Holy shit. No, eye acting, like with your eyes. If you watch Wednesday, the Wednesday, she doesn't act with her face, with her smile. All her acting is done with her eyes. Wednesday Addams eye acting. That's what I'm talking about. Oops. All right. Was this it? This has got to be it. Nope, that can't be it. I didn't pour it yet. That's why. I didn't pour B5 yet. All right, here we go. This is the last one, and then we will do some reveals. $8 for 18 eggs at the store today. And they were probably like just regular ass eggs. RAG. Sean Paisley changed his name to Mega 69. Maybe. He might have. I don't think Sean has ever gotten normal 69, let alone Mega. Boom roasted. Sorry, Sean. Love you. Okay. What? What on planet? Fuck it. What is it? Oh my God. You can't see. This is why I like when the camera's closer to me, because it's easier to see. This made everything on my arm stand up. AT40, I thought you said these were your favorites. Wow, it's an Ipecac. That's Ipecac. I can smell it. I know Ipecac when I smell it. Oh, no, you can't. Why would you? Okay, I can smell it from here. Enough. That must be a Texas whiskey. Whew. I can't get much closer. Don't get any close. Like Chael Sonnen would say to Vanderlei Silva, I can't let you get close. That's what I'm doing here with this. Whew. Okay, this is what I mean by different people like different things. I don't like this. And this is some of his favorite stuff. This makes me not happy. Does your local store know you're the world's top whiskey taster? No, they don't. Would they care if they knew? I don't think that they would. I was not. Did I want to? Yeah, I did. But Krista is on call and we're here at the children, so if I were to leave and she were to get called in, then it makes the whole thing. So I've been to 0 liquor stores in the last few days. 0. Dara, I don't even remember what I said about myself, but if it was putting me down, then guess what? It's because I love me. I don't know. Alec, do you think it's going to hurt your content so you have to retire fat jokes? Dude, are you serious? This is either a single malt, a Texas whiskey, Frey Ranch, oh God. I'm glad that this is last. Thank you for putting this one last, because if this were first, it would have just completely messed up everything. All right, down the hatch was the last one. All right. That's a single malt. It is, you know what? The palate is not as bad as the nose. The palate's not as bad as the nose. I don't love it. It actually tastes kind of good. I don't dislike it. It's a very like molasses and raisin heavy single malt. I wonder if that's like a westward American single malt finished in something. I don't know. I don't hate it, but at the same time, that's not something that I usually go to. I think B5 is a finished single malt. And it is a 6.1. 6.1. Huh. It's very grapey at the end. You know what? Weirdly enough, I kind of like it. There's like a little bit of peat on it. It almost seems like maybe not. It's like maybe it's slightly smoky. I don't hate that, but at the same time, it's not something that I would go to a lot. So we do have a porter order here from first to last. So let's find out what my porter order was, if I agree with that porter order once it's revealed, and then if I enjoyed the way that I did this tasting, not having tasted like them repeatedly back to back or switching back and forth, just by going one by one. Interesting turnout, you could say. Sam Brown, to help get the taste out of your mouth, drink it. Oh, thanks, Sam. Oh, Mr. Yamamoto. I'm sorry. Did I miss a meeting? What is the Alec Bradley logo in the corner for? Well, I'm sorry. I should have definitely said this a million times already, but this live stream is provided to you by this sponsor, Alec Bradley Cigars, the finest cigars you will ever lay hands on. And if you never laid hands on them, that's because you skipped the hands and went straight to lips. And if you've never went straight cigar to lip without touching them, then that's because it was probably an Alec Bradley cigar, the finest cigars produced on planet Earth. And that's only because we're unsure if anything is produced on Neptune. Because if nothing is produced anywhere else in our solar system, then you can chalk up a solar system championship to Alec Bradley cigars. That's just what I'm saying. Friggin' Alec Bradley cigars. Jeez Louise. Jack single malt double? I don't know. We're about to find out though. What did my mom say? Oh, the sponsor of the stream. Yeah, I was getting there. Let's see. We have in last place was B3, and then B5. All right, so let's do last place first. Actually, I don't even know how these are broken down because there's just this. So I'm going to try to open this and then not look at anything, which is always hard, but let's see if I can do it. So B3 was in last place with a score of 5.9. I thought it was a Maker's Mark Private Select. And then B5, score of 6.1, a finished single malt maybe. Then was B2, which I thought was a turkey product, maybe around 101 proof, was a score of 7.3. But first of all, let's see what B3 was. Okay, these are all in the same paper. How do I avoid looking? I'm trying to blur my vision. I haven't seen anything yet, I swear. Okay, I see B3. What? Are you effing me in the A? Wow. Okay. This made me so happy. AT40. I'm glad it made you happy. So I'm trying not to see what the other ones are because I want to be surprised. But I do have the last place was a Maker's Mark Private Select, 113 proof. I give it a 5.9. It was not. It was Willet 8-year weeded bourbon. Willet 8-year weeded. So Willet 8-year weeded is very, very similar to a Maker's Mark weeded. Willet weeded and Maker's weeded are in the same, they're literally the same thing. That's the same shit. I'm sorry. Wow. Maybe. See, that's why you don't buy stuff that's expensive that you might not like. Because if I were to see a Willet weeded, I'd think I need that. Then I would taste it and be like, oh shit, I just spent a few $100s on something I really did not want. You don't like? I thought this was some of your favorite whiskeys. I thought AT40, I thought that the title of this flight was your favorite whiskeys. You lying son of a bitch. Or maybe I just misread it. I might have misread it. might have misread it. That tasted like a Maker's Private Select to me, like dead on. I smelled it and I immediately said that's a Maker's Mark. When it wasn't, it was just a wheated bourbon from Willett. So weird. All right. Let's do, there's 6 of them. So in 5th place was B5, which I said was possibly a single malt finished, receiving a score of 6.1. So it's the last one. Okay, I have no idea what that is. What's up, Noah? Bladnoch, BLADNOCH, 19 year. That sounds expensive. Bladnoch, 19 year. I would imagine that's very expensive. I liked the palate way more than the nose, but then again, that type of whiskey is not my favorite, which is why, yeah, it's a Scotch. So it's is it a single malt? That's kind of what I thought. Is there any peat on that? Is it lightly peated or is there any peat? I'm not sure. But thank you for putting that one last because that makes way more sense. Takashi, I just got here. What I miss? Oh, a bunch of stuff that wasn't really important. Merry Christmas. P.S. Amazing video so far on the Advent. P.S.S. We got weights in fish. We got weights in fish. That's just the best. That's the best. P.S.S.S. Thanks for everything. Thank you, Takashi. Freaking lead weights and walleyes. You know what I mean? Bladnoch. No peat. Okay. Lowland, no peat. All right. Like I said, I like the palate much more than I like the nose. The nose on that is so strong. The palate was more forgiving. Like I'm learning to like a lot more Scotch whiskeys, a lot more single malts, but just transitioning from one thing to that, it's very like wow in your face. All right, let's go to the next one, which was Rigadoo. We have so B2, which I said was, my guess was, I got a Wild Turkey on the nose. It was a 7.3, a little over 100 proof. I guessed it was possibly Turkey 101, but I said 7.3. I don't know. That was B2. B2. What the hell? There's no... What? No. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. Where's B2? There's no way. Really? Typically, you know what? Now that I see what it is, oh my gosh. Wow. Now that I know what that is, that's a total... Okay. I don't know how I missed that. That's so wild. I think that maybe this tasting process is not correct for a flight. It was Jack Daniel's Eric Church. The Eric Church Jack Daniels. I did not pick up on that barrel tannin because normally, like, if I taste a Jack Daniel's product, always on the back end of it, I always get this red wine barrel tannin finish. and I didn't get that. But then when I just poured it, it's so clear. It's so apparent. I think that doing a flight like this would benefit from tasting back and forth. Now that I look. The Planet Monster. Weights and fish. All right. So after that, so far I'm doing very poorly, by the way. I kind of got the Scotch thing. No. I got weeded bourbon right. Still not doing great. Let's see. Which one was it? The next one was, so the next three I really, really enjoyed. We have an 8.1, an 8.8, and an 8.4. So in third place was Glass 1, B1, which kind of threw me for a loop. On the nose, I thought it was a rye. Then after tasting it, I thought it was just an extra aged bourbon. I put it at a low proof at 90, which I kind of think is going to be higher than that after tasting the rest of these. But a guess was an Elijah Craig 18. I gave it an 8.1. I don't think it's Elijah Craig 18 anymore. And I stand by the score, though. The score was very, very good. Let's see what it is. B1. That's really funny. What's really funny is after I took the last sip of it, I said, oh my gosh, I don't think it's a bourbon anymore. I think that the nosing came back as a rye. And I said out loud, what is a low proof extra aged rye? And I don't know if I said it out loud or not, but in my brain, I thought Saz 18. But then I don't say shit like that out loud because who'd send a Sazerac 18? That was a Sazerac 18 year. What's the proof on Saz 18? Dude, thank you so much for sending that. That's crazy. A Saz 18. That got a great score. What did I say? An 8.1? Holy crap. 95 proof? That is so good. That is so good. It's funny because I was locked in on bourbon. Then I took that last drink and I was like, shit. There is rye tendencies on it. When I nosed it, I thought rye. When I tasted it, I thought bourbon. The last sip, I thought I abandoned my bourbon thing. I got the age right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Saz 18. I think I've had Sazerac 18 maybe in one or two other samples ever. But never not in a very long time. That's super cool. So in second place was B4, which was an 8.4. I gave it blindly. I said super cinnamon, will it? OGD 114 ? What is B4? Oh boy. What? There's no way. All right. That's off profile. That's a Blanton straight from the barrel. Dude, AT40. Can you do you still have that bottle? That is so cinnamon. I didn't get any Buffalo Trace from that at all. I was looking for nuttiness. I was looking for sweetness. That's a cinnamon bomb of the Blantons. I've never had a Buffalo Trace product that much cinnamon. Yes, it is cinnamon, or yes, you have, I don't know, holy crap. You want more? Laugh out loud. I still have some left. That's wild. That is wild. A Blanton straight from the barrel with that much cinnamon on it. That is crazy. I never, ever in a million years, you could have had me sit in this chair. I could have sat in this chair all night and all day tomorrow. This could have been a 24-hour live stream. I never would have said Blanton straight from the barrel. Ever. Ever. There's no way. All right. Dude, 1840, try it and tell me if you get the cinnamon on it. All right. So in first place was B6A6. I guess like an extra aged whiskey, possibly a dusty, 107 proof, 15 plus years old, question mark, maybe a weeded bourbon, maybe. I gave it an 8.8. It's really, 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 really fucking good. Pardon my language. And that is A6B6. Really? No way. That's an Old Forester birthday bourbon, 2021. Wow. That's awesome. That was an awesome pour. Old Forester birthday bourbon. I never would have got there either. I don't think I ever would have got there either. Super good, though. Super good. It wasn't weeded, that's for sure. Definitely not a weeded bourbon. AT40, thank you so much for that flight. That was a super good flight. Super, super good. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to use the little boys' room. I'll be right back. It's Brittany, bitch. I'm back. I am back. Start spamming RIP. That's sad. That's super sad. No ghost is going to get me. There's not a chance. Not a chance. Wow, my mom is just keeping it up. That Willet weeded bourbon is not my, that's literally not my jam at all. That's not my jam at all. So what time is it? Check the old, we 10 o'clock. We got some time. We got some time. I hate that cha-ching thing. I asked Patreon to do some Ask Me Anything questions. I can do that. T. Jarrett, I'm going to get Alec and or Bradley on a stream very soon. I'm going to send them a flight, and then we are going to talk AB cigars. It's going to be good. So stay tuned for that. Cheap stuff I can find in Western PA. That's good. Oh, the double broadleaf. Alec. What is today? Alec, can you come on a live stream with me soon? I'm free next week. We could do a great happy holiday ADHD Whiskey Alec Bradley giveaway where we give away all of my whiskey and some of your cigars. But I know that that's probably not going to happen. So I'll just forget about it. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Let's see. I said I'm going to do the Pursuit United bottles. The Pursuit United bottles are going to be in a video coming up very soon. I'm going to do a Tin Cup 14er video while I'm here, a Pursuit United video while I'm here. I have a few other bottles that I could bust into. I just got a Hardin's Creek because I needed to get one, and I really want to find out if it is as good as I remember. I have one of those here. You know what I'll do? Before we call it quits tonight, I'm going to taste this Old Whip Van Winkle. That's what we'll taste last. But before we do that, I want to taste my backbone pick from today that drops today. America. Is this a clean glass? No. I don't have any clean glasses left. That's a pain in my ass. I need to hire a freaking glass washer who just comes behind me and cleans up my glasses. All right. Wow, what was that? The world was in that glass. No, I can't drink out of that glass. That glass smells really funky. Not that one either. What on earth? Yeah, that one probably works best. Some of them just did not work. So there were some questions on Patreon. I said, shoot me some Ask Me Anything questions. We can go through those. Kind of fun. Oh, no. Whatever. That was, wow. A lot of those whiskeys were very unique and left a very unique taste in the glass. I'll give you glass cleaners at a low price of 1 pour of Weller Foolproof per hour. I think I have a few pours of Weller Foolproof laying around. That wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. I know, Mom. I did rinse it with water. Can't do next week, but can definitely do it at the beginning of the year. I would love to. You've never done a blind flight? Alec, I'm going to send you a blind flight. Hallelujah. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we can talk Alec Bradley cigars all night while I torture you with a blind flight of good whiskey. All right, let's do this. Where the hell did I put my phone? There it is. Right where I left it. Let's see. Give me one moment. All right, here we go. I have an Ask Me Anything for tomorrow's live stream. Here it is. And then while I sip this, I just want to see if there are any left of this single barrel. Let's do 6. No. 4. So I have this backbone bourbon that dropped today. It's a single barrel backbone bourbon, unfiltered. It's a 100-month MGP, 21% rye. So 8 years, 4 months old MGP. It's Slippin' Jimmy. That's a sticker on it. Hard to see from back here, but Slippin' Jimmy, There are currently 5 of them left for patrons if anybody would like them. If anyone's a patron and hasn't got one, there are 5 left. I just checked. 5 left. Ask me anything. Let's see if we got any good ones. Any good ask me anythings. 33 comments. That's a lot. That's way too many. He said 100 a month, laugh out loud. I'm sorry, did I say 4 year? It's a 8-year, 4-month. So that's 100 months. 100 months old is 8 years and 4 months. If I misspoke, I'm sorry, but yeah, 8 years, 4 months is 100 months. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of them. The first question came in, and I asked this. Could you beat Sean Paisley in an arm wrestling match? That was from Zach Jones. That was the worst question Zach Jones ever asked. Yeah, I could beat Sean Paisley in an arm wrestling match. Let's see. Tim Evans asked, will you be doing any blending with the Junkies on their Virtue line? I have not been asked yet about that, but I would absolutely love to. That'd be super cool. I would love to do that. But there's nothing in the works yet, no. Gary Franchi asked, am I capable of asking you better questions than this? Probably not. Jonathan Cook asks, did you check the pilot in the fireplace to make sure you're not being gassed again? That's a great question. Maybe let me check. Just for Mr. Cook. Let me check for Mr. Cook. It's wrong. We're totally good. Totally good. We're fine. That's just an ad. It'll be done in a second. That's just an ad. Skip ad. The pilot is off, but the TV is in the fireplace. So there's that. There's definitely that. We checked it and we're good. Could anyone could be Sean Paisley in a wrestling match? Matt Horn says, I shit you not, I thought that was a real fireplace. Matt Horn, it is a real fireplace. But the fireplace doesn't work, so I put a TV in it. So, got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is the backbone. This is what I like to do with my barrel picks sometimes is I'll drink a bunch of good whiskey and then I'll taste a barrel pick after it just to see like how it tastes compared to the good, like the stuff I just tasted. Alex says you had no clue. Do you think I kept a fire going for 2 hours that strong? Listen, here, you know what? Let's see what else is in the fireplace. Pawn Stars is on fire. Currently, Pawn Stars is on fire. You can do, I don't know. There's Wednesday right there. There's Wednesday. We can just play Wednesday. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. Adaptivity at its finest. That's like the fake fireplace I have to make me think my heater works and I'm not currently freezing. Oh, I'm sorry, Cameron. Yeah, but yeah, it's the same thing. That's a real life fireplace, but it doesn't work. So do what you got to do. Oh, it is a gas fireplace, Bob. I didn't fool anybody. It just wasn't currently on fire. It just wasn't on fire at the time. Friggin' fooled everybody. Fooled everybody. That's great. Yeah, that backbone pick it's legit. It's weird because it's oakier than a typical 8-year MGP. The 10-year 4-gate, what do they call it? The Indiana Foundation 10-year. I tasted it next to that, and this backbone is oakier than the 10-year. It's higher proof as well, but it's just they have great barrels, that backbone. Some of them are a bit funky. This one, I just think is a little more than average oaked. It's very good. I really, really like it. Yeah, put the fire back on. If I put the fire back on, here's the problem. We can do it. It's just difficult. It's the worst TV on the planet. I'm hoping Santa Claus brings my children a new TV because this is their TV for their bedroom and it's terrible. Looking for more Ask Me Anything questions. Bubble Bath Bourbon asks, what's the best whiskey to pair with striped bass? Also, what's the best whiskey to drink while fishing for striped bass? Also, what's the best lure to use to catch striped bass? Well, Bubble Bath Bourbon. Come on. Deeper. Harder. We're almost there. We're so close. Turning my neck that way really screwed me up. I just gotta light the fireplace, so it'll just be a second. It'll just be a second. Bear with me. We're gonna light it. The fireplace will light right after this ad. Okay. Oh, David Spade's gonna light my fireplace. What a guy. There we go. Now we're back. We are back, Brittany. It was kind of a tweaked neck, Toshi. It was kind of a tweaked neck. Is the fire not real? Why are the candela melting? Candela? Yeah. If your TV is cold, the best thing to do is to light the fireplace. Just light it up. Just light it up. Nathan Bubble Bath Bourbon Bates. I would say the best whiskey to pair with striped bass is probably a Westward single malt whiskey that I still need to send you. What's the best whiskey to drink while fishing for striped bass? That depends on how many you want to catch. If you want to catch more than 0, I'd recommend coffee. So maybe a little bit of coffee. Skip the whiskey. What's the best lure to use for striped bass? How about a KVD 2.5 crankbait, square bill crankbait, black back chartreuse. Yeah. Black back chartreuse KVD 2.5. think you probably slam on that crankbait there, Bubble Bath. Kyle McDowell asks, have you considered widening your social media platform to make yourself available to a wider audience, or keep concentrating on YouTube and improving your craft there? To be honest, Kyle, I think that when it comes to widening my social media platform, I don't see myself doing much of whiskey TikTok, because whiskey TikTok is basically, what's the word? Disgusting. It's terrible. I can't do it. Other platforms, I don't know. I think that if you were to see me doing anything to widen my platform, it would be maybe outside of the bourbon space, maybe doing something just about everyday life, or about, I don't know. I've been thinking heavily about starting a second channel where it's me doing everyday shit. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many of those out there. The whiskey thing is a great niche, and it's like, I love it. It's like, it's a love. It's my love. It's my love. But it could go away at any moment. So I'm like, should I have more to share than just whiskey. I do. Is it worth sharing? Who knows? Would anybody watch it? Probably not. Would it be worthwhile? Doubtful. But I do feel like I have, beyond whiskey, there's more to me, and that'd be fun to share on YouTube, to do more videos outside of whiskey. Maybe one day I will share a channel with a bunch of videos on it to you that is me doing other shit, like, who knows, laundry or something. Stuff and Whiskey says, you got me lifted, shifted higher than a ceiling, and it's the ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly. That's a nice message. Jokes aside, seriously, sugar, how'd you get so fly? That might be the best question I've ever been asked. And I don't know. I think it probably has something to do with how I was lifted and how I felt so gifted, to be fair. That's a great question. That's funny. Steve Zmansky, does the world's top whiskey taster have a consistent drinking technique when evaluating a whiskey? For example, swish around the mouth 2 times and swallow, or roll the whiskey front to back on the tongue. Another question, when you say front, mid, or back palate, is that in reference to position of your tongue, or is it related to what flavors you got first, second, or third? When I refer to the front, mid, or back palate, it's literally where I taste it at. Front of the palate would be front of the tongue, mid palate would be middle of the tongue, back palate would be back of the tongue. It just so happens that typically when I taste something first, it would more than likely be on the front of the palate. If anything is on the back of the palate and lingering, it's usually happening last. As far as a technique, I kind of developed something that was based off of Dan Shook's Drowning Pheasant. And if you notice in a video where I taste something and I put it to the back of the throat, and it kind of like goes back and then back in. It's almost like you get the finish first, even though you don't. And I might actually hate Dan Shook for bringing that to my attention and ruining everything I've ever accomplished without using that technique, because now that I started doing it, I can't stop. That son of a bitch. Stuff and Whiskey again. The other question is the most important, hence why it was asked first. But here's a filler question just for content's sake. Hopefully it's another song. How challenging is it to balance a personal life with everything necessary to run the channel, recording, editing, communications, etc.? What are your favorite and least favorite parts of running the channel? I would say that it is way more challenging than expected. It's way more challenging that most people would understand. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not friggin', I don't know, Elon Musk, but the amount of like messages and questions that come in is overwhelming, and I can't keep up. So that's what's hard, is like when early on, like answer every question, reply to every comment. But at some point it's like, I've got like 15 inbox messages on Instagram, and my 5-year-old wants me to cut the crust off for peanut butter and jelly. It's like, which one do I do? You know? So balancing is difficult. But at some point you have to sort of just be like, people understand. You just have to think most people will understand, and if they love your shit and if they love you, then they're going to love your shit and love you. If they get upset because they asked a question about how much I'd pay for a Rebel Yell 10-year in Virginia and I didn't answer them and they get upset about it, I'm sorry. But, I mean, I can't answer all those. Although I would like to. So that's what's difficult, is because I would love to answer every single question ever, just like I'm ignoring chat right now, and I feel guilty for that. That's the hardest part, is knowing that people send stuff that I can't get to because there's just so much. And it's not like a million a day, but once you have 12 per day and then 20 per day in one area and then 20 per day in another space and then 15 email, it's like quickly you get over your head before you know it. But I love every single thing about what I do. I wouldn't trade this for anything. And I need to get better at answering stuff. I need to get better at getting back to everyone. It's just difficult. But that's a great question. Chris Martino says, how has the waxing been going ever since Chris first waxed your legs? Does it get easier? And have you gone full Brazilian? Chris, you son of a bitch. That was what, not Veterans Day. Wow, Veterans Day. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day 2020. She waxed my arm and my leg because she thought that it would hurt me. And I said, I will not flinch. And she waxed my leg and my arm, and I did not flinch. You know why? Because it doesn't hurt. All right? It doesn't hurt. So I grew up on a steady diet of titty twisters and purple nurples. You're not going to make me flinch by a little bit of hair being ripped out of my friggin' leg. All right? Watching YouTube on YouTube, mind blown. That's funny. Nice slippers. These are $4 clearance Walmart and one flippity flops. $4. $4. Soft plastic creature bait. Maybe if you want to catch them. If you want to catch them, maybe that's the case. Sexy Shad, KVD Sexy Shad. The snack videos. I did the snack video and got like 300 views. Nobody watched that shit. Hot toddy video might be my favorite Matt has ever done. Yeah, I burnt my penis. Ryan Alves, you beautiful son of a bitch. Which bourbon junkie is best? Love, best friend forever. Ryan, Holler, I can't pick a favorite, but I certainly can. And it's Christmas time, so I'm not going to. Sean, I love you. Dan, I love you. And you're both my favorite. But when the new year hits, I will let you know the real answer. AT40, good night, dude. Thank you for the flight. It was super cool. I fudged it up quite a bit, but it's super fun anyway. Let's see here. I don't think... Dude, Mark, So the funny thing is, he says, I don't think people know how much time editing takes until you really develop your workflow. The problem is I've never developed a workflow, which is really hard. And I get interrupted so much that it's like I sit down to edit a video, and I don't have a desk or an office, so I literally edit from a couch with a laptop on my lap. I have my mouse on the couch on top of David Jennings' Wild Turkey book is my mouse pad. But as soon as I sit down and put the laptop on my lap, it's like, doot, doot, hello. And then I'm like ready to start editing. And the kids are like, hey, idiot, we've been hungry for 13 seconds. Get up and fix us something before we break shit. And I'm like, it's crazy. It takes so long to edit, and I'm not even good at it. So it's difficult. It's pretty weird, but fun. It's fun too at the same time. We're just happy you're here and being you. Oh, thanks, Takashi. I appreciate that. Meg 69 megas back? Jeez Louise. Have I gone full Brazilian? No, not full Brazilian, but listen, I'm going to make another video, and it's like, I might make it, should I make it tomorrow? What's tomorrow, the 17th? I'm not going to answer that question, Trasher. Just look out for a video in the next couple days about Amazon Prime, and we'll answer you there. I have an idea for you to eliminate the bots. All right, Mom. I have an idea for you to... Never mind. What's your idea, Mom? Let's hear it. Freaking bots. Whiskey Central, it takes a half day to edit a video. It takes so long. It is. It's just like... The problem is, there are some people who don't edit videos at all. Like... the way they speak and the way, like, their cadence, the way they talk, everything it's perfect. And like Scott from My Bourbon Journey, his videos, I'm like, dude, there's not a single cut in your video. You just talked the entire time and it made sense. And then that was the video. My videos are bad. Okay. The reason that that's cut so much and like zoomed in, zoomed out is because I have 14 seconds between words, and nobody wants to see me sit here and say, listen, I really love this, and I'm getting notes of apricot. Sleep apnea for like 14 seconds. I'm like, oh, and other things. It's like nobody wants to see that in between. So it's like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And my cadence it's nothing about me, the way I speak, the way I do things is pattern. Like the pattern of it isn't great enough where I can edit. I have no idea what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say it. It's just terrible. And if I hired an editor, they would quit. They would quit immediately. Hey, Alves, answer Alex's text. He gets upset. He gets upset if you don't. Hello there. I think I have more Ask Me Anything questions. I'll just do a video for those two. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun video, an Ask Me Anything video. I don't know. That was fun. We went on for 2.5 hours. We drank through a ton of sample bottles. I said I would end the night on this wheat whiskey, so I will do that. It's the New Holland Brewing. Where's the water? I found it. It's the New Holland Brewing Company wheat whiskey. Wow. What on earth? Some of these glasses are funky. New Holland Spirits Single Barrel Wheat Whiskey, 142.3 proof. And it is 8 years old. An 8-year-old wheat whiskey. Has the best sticker ever stickered on it. Super Dark says, asleep many years in the wood, 8 summers old, aged 8 years, Old Whip Van Winkle, handmade whiskey, Michigan straight wheat whiskey, genuine new line sweet mash from Old New Holland Distillery. I believe that they use small barrels for this. And if I remember correctly, this is a ride, a friggin' wheat ride. Mom, I think I have that. I think I have that feature on. I thought I had that feature on. I might not, though. Oh, Bob, I'm glad that it gets you through the day. Your affection has been shoved to the back of the fridge? That's BS. That is BS. Robert, I love you too, Murphy. Love you too, friggin' Murphy. Yeah, and Rarebird is one of the nicest people on the planet. For sure. Well, it's a sweet funk job. Sweet, funky, floral. Strong. Very strong. Wow. Lots of bakery notes. Wow. That's... Whew. I'm not gonna... Okay. That needs a whole video. Wow. 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 I forgot how much of a thing that is. That's a whole thing. If you ever had wheat whiskey before, wheat whiskey provides like, it's not a bourbon, it's not like super sweet. It's just like it almost takes your breath away a little bit. It's very feathery and floral and just like at hazmat 140 proof, it's a potent son of a bitch. I need to revisit that when I like can actually taste it. That was just like a whirlwind of wow. Jeez Louise. Holy crap. Blah. Blah. What, where did you say it was? Oh, that's what it says. I love it. Oh boy. All right. We're going to call it a night. This has been a good night. I'm going to get off of here and clean up my mess. I'm going to listen. This is very important. And when I say it, I mean it. All right. So if I were to have a camera that had a zoom lens, it would zoom in on me. If I were just closer to the camera, I would make a point of this. If I were able to hold a sign out that would focus on it, it would focus it. Listen, you never leave a fire. Okay. You never leave a fire going. Whenever you're done with your fire, you put that son of a bitch out. All right. Only you can prevent forest fires or cabin fires for that matter. So what you do before you're done here, before you're done, is you make sure that fire's out. Do you have to douse it several times with water? Maybe. Do you have to like urinate on it or like throw your friend on it? Maybe. Whatever you got to do. But before you leave, I almost burnt down a national park once. Mom, I'm not sure if I ever told you that story, but it's true. Well, you know what? Might as well tell the story now. Might as well. Toshi Bake. Thanks for the fun stream, Matt. Your package should be there Monday. Hells yeah. It said today, but updated to Monday now. Stupid idiot tracking devices. Added a couple samples in a bottle. Hope you enjoy them over the holiday. Can't wait for a very Merry Madness. Toshi Bake, thank you so much, dude. You're amazing. Mom, I love you. Good night. But me and Phil almost burnt down Isle Royal. And I'm not sure if I ever told you that before, but it's true. There was a fire ban on the island, and we had a little bit of a fire in a grill. And Phil burnt his finger and threw a burning hot stick into the very dense dry forest. and we searched for it all night and could not find it. We fell asleep in our tent, hoping that we didn't burn the entire island down. What did I learn from that night? Don't mess with fire. Otherwise, you'll sleep poorly in the tent. So I'm not sleeping in a tent tonight as far as I'm aware of, but still holds true. Make sure your fires are out. So that was the wrong remote control. That was the remote control for my lights. Son of a bitch. That's the wrong remote. Let's see here. Like I said, make sure your fire is out. And there. Now it's out. Now it's just me and you in the darkness. Some candlelight. A little bit of screen love. That's it. That's all we got. Love you all so much. Have a great night. See you next Friday. Make sure you're watching the rest of the Advent calendar. Tomorrow is a big day for the Advent calendar. You might want to watch that one. And that's all I got to say about that. Have a good night. See you next Friday. And then on the 30th is a very merry madness. Me versus Cam with David and Kira hosting. We'll see you then. I love you so much. If you can't see this, this is me blowing you a kiss. And I'm naked from the waist down.